Okay, I see here. All right, yeah, I see. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. And of course, welcome back to another episode of TBD, the radio show. I am one of our three co-hosts, B, three exclamation points, joined by Reggie, also known as Speed and Bullet. Of course, beautiful Bobby. Now, I normally don't do the intros, but you know what? Me and Reggie talked. We got sick of that bullshit. Had to get him the fuck out of here. We told him to take a week off. He was on bullshit. So, yeah, I mean, group chat stuff, y'all wouldn't understand. But no, in all seriousness, though, our third co-host, he a little under the weather. He had a birthday. He was outside being a baddie. So, yeah, I mean, he's not as young as he thought he was. So he got to sit down for a week. Reggie, how you been, brother?
Oh man, I've been good. I mean, weather withstanding,
Yeah.
um, and James always slightly pisses me off when he sends us his weather. 85 and
Facts.
sunny is not something you need to send your friends when we're dealing with the blizzard of 2026.
Right.
Yeah, but you guys saw what kind of trouble I was in South Carolina.
Oh man, I couldn't wait to get you on the pod to talk about that. I need to know the details. Like that road trip had to be crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys saw the pictures that I posted just about the ice sheets that were on our vehicle, and we were driving back from Charleston, South Carolina,
Mhm.
and one of the things about the further you get down south, they don't really know how to deal with snowy weather.
Right.
They don't have like salt trucks, and
Yeah.
because they don't get this type of weather, so
Right.
it doesn't even make sense for them to even have that type of equipment, for them to get it every 20 years or something like that. And ironically, I was talking to a guy in South Carolina, and he said that it was 75 and sunny on Christmas in South Carolina. So to kind of give you an idea of what their weather pattern looks like, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, it's ice, but they don't even get snow. He says snow to them is like flurry. So,
Yeah.
um, we were on the way back and ran into the middle of an ice storm. And I've heard of ice storms in places like Alaska,
Right.
but like they never experienced an ice storm. So, maybe every hour we would have to pull the car over to like bang ice off of the windshield because the defroster was just not
Not cutting it.
at all. But this particular time, we pulled over to get some gas, and that's where where I got out the vehicle, and I'm looking, and I'm like, the whole front, it just was full of ice, and it reminded me, funny enough, it reminded me of Mortal Kombat, of like Sub
Sub
Zero.
Zero. Yeah. Yeah, for
When
sure.
he like sprays ice on,
Yeah.
and it just like totally frozen. And I didn't even think a car could like, because the engine is hot, so I didn't
Yeah.
think a car
Yeah.
could have that type of ice on it. So that was just amazing for me to see. But we kept on trucking. A 10-hour trip home turned into a 20-hour trip with the weather. We probably shouldn't have been in the weather, but we had to get back. But we probably shouldn't have been on the road anyway. We were driving for like hours and didn't even see any cars.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure. So wait, what time did y'all leave from South Carolina?
we left around 1 a.m.
Okay. On
and
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, and I
Okay.
got home maybe about 9 o'clock, maybe 9 p.m.
Sheesh.
So
That's
and the
crazy.
driving was split between three people, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean the event was one of our bike events that we have every January. We call it our networking event, where all of the clubs from all over the country like just come together, and you like network.
Yeah.
We go on here, we go on there. It's clubs from all over. Our club, we have chapters
Hmm.
all over the U.S. We actually have a chapter now in Trinidad, and we have a chapter in South Korea. So
Oh shit.
yeah,
Y'all international.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we're working on a Mexico chapter. So it's a bit, it's a big deal. The first of the first meeting of the year, we just set our agenda and set the places that we're gonna be going to. So it was a great event. It was we had like a almost kind of like a black tie event. So everybody kind of got dressed up. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's fire. That's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, definitely. It was a good look, especially for like our population, which is the biker population. People kind of have their own like misconceptions about us, whether or not we got jobs or whether or not we brush our teeth. People have those type of misconceptions. So, as you know, I wasn't gonna come to anything unless I was sharp. So,
Right, of course. Gotta stay with the beautiful Bobby
yeah,
image, right? You can't have nothing fuck that up.
yeah.
So wait, when you got home though, you had to deal with the snow and shit when you got to the crib.
Well, I actually had to go straight to work.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah, I went
Yeah.
straight to work. I had to drive our vehicle to pick up employees, to pick up people in the hospital. So I didn't even actually get straight drive straight home. I
Yeah.
went straight to work and started picking people up and dropping people off. I was kind of like, like my staff had really been there since Friday,
Yeah.
just preparing for it and people sleeping over. So I felt like I needed to jump in there and do some of the work because my folks have been there all week. And I had some folks that was working like 20-hour shifts, like they really was getting it in. So
Oh, they
once
was
I
getting
was
that
free,
overtime.
oh yeah, they definitely was eating. I had one guy, I think he had like 80 hours overtime. I don't even know how he did that, but yeah, so I jumped right in there just to give my folks some relief. So I didn't get home officially till probably maybe 1 a.m. And I refused to at that moment dig my truck out.
Yeah.
So I actually held on to our rental car from South Carolina
Yeah.
extra day because I'm like, I'm definitely not gonna that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not gonna be digging out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So wait, that leads me to something I wanted to talk about. How do you feel about when it's snow and the ice storm, whatever that we got here? How do you feel about digging your car out? Do you put a chair in your spot? Like what are your feelings?
Nah, I mean, I can understand why someone would be upset, especially in this type of snow, right? I was out there for 10 minutes and I was struggling. I mean, I was struggling and I got a whole bunch of steps in the front. I got a long walkway. I got long sidewalk and I
Yeah.
was I was struggling.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
right. So I mean, I get it. You put all that work in, and then you pull out. Somebody pull right back in. Like that's gonna be a bit salty.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, it's something that I wouldn't do. I've never really like was faced with that. Like this is the first time in a long time that I actually had like a block full of neighbors and people that drove.
Yeah.
So, but ironically enough, my neighborhood appears to always have parking.
Okay.
So and I got a pickup with four-wheel
Yeah.
drive. So I didn't even dig out. I
Yeah.
just
Oh,
I
you
just
just,
ran
yeah, just ran over it like fuck
just
this
ran
little bit
over
of
it.
snow.
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't doing nothing. My shovel broke. Like I was like, nah, this ain't for me. So I ain't even dig out. I
Man.
just plow through it. And that's what I've been doing. Whenever I need a spot, I just plow
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really believe in putting a chair in the spot. Because I feel like, if you driving, you obviously dug out a spot. So it's
Everybody.
like, yeah, like you dug out a spot. So don't put a chair there. Don't be a dick. Like just, what I mean, be a community. Just sorry, you park here. Sometimes you're gonna have optimal parking. Sometimes you're gonna have less than optimal parking. But yeah, I mean, we all dealing with some shit. These kids, they didn't have school most of the week, right? They were
Mhm.
off. We got a comment. What if I dig it out? Don't park him. You pause. Your jaw getting parked in. Pause. Double pause for that. But yeah,
I
nah.
mean,
These.
I'm gonna say this just in response to the comment. If you have an item there, I'm probably not gonna move it.
Yeah.
like that's I mean, that's gonna probably cause an argument. I don't need. If it's an item there, I
Yeah.
ain't gonna move your chair. I ain't gonna move your piano, whatever you got out there.
Yeah.
I'm probably not
Right.
gonna move it. But I do know that the spot that I'm parked in right now, I didn't
Yeah, I ain't dig that right for sure.
ain't nothing there. It's fair game.
Right.
But that's but good thing is we haven't heard of any violence that has happened as a result. At least I haven't any violence as a result of somebody parking in somebody's reserved spot. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it, so that's good because we've had some situations in the past. You already know
For sure. For
people
sure.
have gotten into gunfights.
Yeah, that just happened. Yeah, it happened. Was it last year where the guy?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah.
Speaking of violence, I saw some violence today. Good old fashioned fist fight. I was very surprised by this. Very, very surprised by this. So I go get my hair cut, right? Go get my hair cut 9 o'clock in the morning, which makes me think like, why y'all got this much energy for a fight at 9 in the morning? But anyway, go get my hair cut 9 in the morning. Shout out to our barber, Molly, our friend, our homie, James. Um, Go see him, get my hair cut, and I'm leaving, and I park on a small street that's like adjacent to the barber shop, Duval Street, for anybody that's familiar. Park on the street, and I'm walking up the street to the car, and there's these two cars in the street. Again, it's a very small street. It's a two-way street, but it's a small street. Two cars blocking the street. I'm thinking it's an issue with the snow or something. I don't pay it no mind. But then I see that these two guys are talking face to face. And that block may have some Boston is legal transactions happening on that block. So that's what I thought it was. I brushed it off as that, everybody cool. But then I hear, nah, pussy, say that shit that you were saying over the phone. Say it to my face. He's like, you ain't gonna say it because you're a bitch.
Damn.
That's my cue. Let me get the fuck out of here before somebody gets shot. Right. I don't want to see shit. Let me just go. So they just talking. Yeah, I mean, when I as I'm walking to the car, of course, my nosy ass, I get in the car, look in the rear view. By this point, they fisticuffs. They going at it. And I'm like, damn, this fight gonna last forever because I ain't seen a cop in like 3 days. One, two, this little ass block, like, and his car is blocking it. Nobody getting through. So anyway, long story less long. Niggas, they had something. Now I don't got no footage. I ain't have my meta glasses on. Long story less long. I did see as I was pulling off, I saw a bunch of niggas outside that jumped out of both of the cars. So then I knew somebody was getting shot, but surprisingly, they just broke it up and everybody lived. So shout out to them for, having a disagreement, old fashioned fist fight. Niggas live and go their separate ways and live to fight another day, as Craig Pop said on Friday.
So let me say this. Right, it's very admirable for two people to settle their differences the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
It's very admirable. However, at 9 o'clock this morning, it was about 10 degrees outside.
That's true.
There's no way on God's green earth that I'm fighting somebody.
That's why I was surprised that, like, why y'all fighting? It's 10 degrees. Y'all niggas ain't brushed a tooth, had a breakfast, nothing. Y'all just out there on bullshit.
10 degrees, like, it is cold as hell outside, and 10 degrees, y'all out here scrapping. Like, one person, all I'll tell you, one person would got one good one. It's a wrap, a frozen fist. Like,
first of all, you ain't even gotta hit me in like my face or my wrist. It's cold as shit. These niggas ain't have gloves on. My hands is cold. If you karate chop my hand, I'm cooked. You got it. Cause my shit, like, and these niggas, they didn't have Timbs on. So somebody stepped in the snow and now they foot cold.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Two, that snow is hard as shit. So, yeah, I mean, the conditions, and like I said, it's a small block. So it's icy. It's just not optimal fighting conditions. That shit. You know what happened? I probably drove off too fast because I really would have liked to scene where they realize like this shit ain't worth it. Like
Yeah.
it's cold as shit. Yeah, I mean, let's go to June's, get some beef bacon. Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, they are the definition of Vikings. They out here
Yeah,
fighting in snow and ice. That's something. That's a good one. That's a
yeah,
good.
yeah. Niggas scrapping though. Speaking of jabs and shit though, getting
But
to the
wait,
top.
B. We
Oh,
didn't.
go ahead.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we didn't get a chance to see how your week's been. How have you been dealing with
Oh,
the snow? You obviously moving around. You got your hair cut. I did
yeah.
not, but
So Sunday, right? Everybody was anticipating the snow Saturday night into Sunday morning, right? I go to bed Saturday and wake up, of course, Sunday is chaos outside, right? So it's like, all right, football on, fuck it. Ain't, you know what I mean? Let me watch some shit that I've been watching. I've been binging this show on HBO Max called Industry. Um, and I've been watching that. So I watched that until football came on or whatever. Yeah. And Sunday, yeah, I mean, it was cooked. It was like, all right, you doing shit. I was texting you on the group chat, so I did turn on the news, and I felt like I turned it on at the perfect time because the weatherman, Adam Scott or Adam Joseph, I forgot his name, Channel 6, shout out to him. He
Mhm.
gave very explicit directions on what to do. He said, yo, it's fucking snow. It's still coming down. It's a lot. Shovel some of that shit off, but leave like an inch or two so when the shit flip over to freezing rain and ice, it lands on top of the snow.
Mhm.
Like, cool. He said, when that shit stop, it's gonna stop tonight, like between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Don't fuck around. Get your ass out there, shovel that shit and salt it because if you wait till the morning, you played yourself.
Mhm.
So I followed his advice. He was right. That shit was snow and freezing rain and ice or whatever got that shit up. Kids didn't have school, so that was like whatever. Um, yeah, I ain't really. I mean, I had to go to work, but other than that, it wasn't. It was fine because school was closed, and there wasn't a lot of traffic. People either school was closed, and a lot of people said, "Fucking, I ain't going to work." People didn't bother to get their cars out, so I ain't really have no issues. As far as weather wise, it was nothing too crazy. Schools did go back today,
That
um,
was crazy.
which
Half a
is crazy. You're right. It's half days and the schools went back, and it's crazy because a lot of the major roads are like one way. Like Cheltenham Avenue is a 4 lane going in opposite direction street. It's one lane each way in a lot of spots. So it's like it's not really conducive to having school and a lot of traffic, but whatever. I don't know what their rules are. I know that, they take snow days, they got to extend the year. I don't know what the rules are. They got virtual learning, whatever that is. Uh, but
Yeah,
other than that,
it just
yeah,
didn't make any sense for it to be a half a day. I mean,
right.
the commutes are already gonna be probably longer, right? And dealing, and, yeah, and most of the kids take public transportation, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the city, So, and even if you're driving your kid, I mean, you got to expect some delays, like, and that's what I kind of ran into the last couple of days is just traffic because, like you said, lanes are closed, so now everybody's in one lane. It's bottleneck.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would send kids to school for a half a day. I
So
mean,
what's funny to me is you got the parents that's, grew up Blizzard of 96, right? Our age, we've become that, right? I've seen it all over social media, like, these kids are soft, they need to take their ass to school. And it's like, bro, or ma'am, when you know better, you do better, right? We shouldn't have been going to school in that shit. It was like, don't send me, it's unsafe. You can't send the kids, but some people still in that mindset, like, fuck that, these kids need to go to, they making them soft.
yeah, that's just ridiculous. I mean, like you said, there are a lot of things, most things that we did back then, as we
Yeah,
probably should not have been doing.
yeah, for
And
sure.
sending your kid to school in a blizzard, like, like why would you do that? I mean, your kid fall and break an arm or bust his head open.
Yeah.
Kids can really walk straight anyway. I mean, what's the lesson in that?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any real lesson in that. So
Nah, I'd be amazed at some of the shit that, just looking back on it, like, damn, we wouldn't do that today. Shit that we did before, shit that was done before when we was growing up. Like, my mom was, no lie, I was 5 years old. My mom used to put me on the SEPTA bus to go to kindergarten, like Southwest Philly to Longstreth. She used to put me on the bus on King Sesson Avenue. It wasn't that many blocks, but she would tell the bus driver, let him out at yada, yada, yada. Take the bus, couple blocks, get off, and leave it to the crossing guard. That shit was crazy. You would never put a 5-year-old on the SEPTA bus now.
I got one for you, B. I'm 7 or 8 catching the New Jersey Transit from Sicklerville to Philadelphia, and then getting on the 48 to meet my dad, like a kid, like
right.
It was crazy. Like,
yeah, our parents were cups.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One time I took the wrong bus,
and
I ended up in Atlantic City, right? Like,
damn.
And no cell phones, no way. Like,
right. Exactly.
So
figure it out.
Yeah, I just got back on the bus and went the other way. And so there's no way for them to know where I'm at. So my dad just sat there and hours until a bus showed up. But yeah, come on, imagine, man, it'd be DHS trying to lock somebody up
quick,
on
immediately.
A state.
You in Atlantic City, you supposed to be in Sicklerville. Some shit that went wrong.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's crazy. One of my mans when we was growing up is crazy. His mom, he had family in Georgia, so every summer he would go down Georgia for like a month, and his mom would just throw him on the Amtrak. Fuck it. Amtrak from Philly to Georgia, nigga. Peace.
I guess that's just how
it was. Yeah, man, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into these topics, man. We got a lot of shit to get to. DHS, right? So yeah, nah. All right, I tried to segue to it earlier, but your man Corey Holcomb, man, he in some hot water, yo. Apparently, he was caught in 4K, putting his hands on a lady. I believe this incident is from 2024. He punched comedian Christina Payne in the face, or it looks like he punched or mushed or whatever. And I thought this was interesting because of his recent back and forth with the guy Anton Daniels, and how Anton was inviting him outside, but he had the energy for him. But with Christina, he took it there. I'm surprised. I haven't seen a lot of talk about, canceling Corey Holcomb, or anything like that. But he talked really crazy I wonder if he saw this footage before, it was released to social media. He talked really crazy and has a platform and, of course, trying to monetize. And, I'm just, I haven't seen him make a statement about it or anything. And of course, we all against, a man putting his hands on a woman. I just thought it was a crazy, crazy, crazy bad look. I wonder how this ends for him. What did you think when you saw that footage?
I mean, I thought it was it probably would be career ending.
Right.
That's the first thing I thought was you just ended your career in 3.5 seconds. Because however, and there's some people who have attempted to give him bail. The camp that says, well, what did she say to him? She got in his face, or just that women shouldn't be stepping to men in that manner, not really giving the proper, in my opinion, the proper response, which is, I mean, you first of all, as a man, you should not be arguing with any woman that ain't yours, right? Like you just should not, especially like in public. But also to get that emotional, that now you're running up on her and hitting her, mushing her, striking her to any degree.
Yeah.
It's just out of bounds. Out of bounds. And I mean, I do think that whatever backlash he gets will be absolutely deserving. Like you just cannot behave like that. And the fact that it's on camera, I mean, and really the fact that it's cameras everywhere, means that you're that, and you're that emotional, and that's what kind of what really like struck me, is that you're that emotional that you're gonna run up on a chick. It's no need for none of that.
Yeah, and to your point, people who say, what she say to him and she shouldn't be, talking crazy or walking up on him. Like, did you watch the video? Because she had a good distance between him and her, and he actually walked up on her and was the aggressor in that situation. So there's no place for that. I mean, again, like I said, I didn't see him make any statement or do a show to address whatever. So this is a developing thing.
Do we have any context of the argument? I mean, it looked like they was in a freestyle cipher.
Right. It looked like they was battle rapping.
Yeah,
right?
Like it was bad, like it was a bad, like weird, like like it looked like they was about to
they definitely was battle rapping. You know what I mean?
Like, what could the argument have been about? Like,
yeah, I don't know. That is that you bring up a good point, because why you got that much energy for a woman that's not yours? Like, what could she have said that bothered you so much that made you do that?
I mean, I see one of the comments was, is that she I guess talks trash and harasses comics. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, that don't seem like that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. No shout out to him, but hopefully, hopefully we get someone addresses that. He addresses it, and hopefully, we get some answers that make sense on.
But I will say this: it probably will not ruin him. I mean, I think that when I go back to like P. Diddy and Cassie, right? Like him beating on Cassie, that didn't really do it for Diddy. Like it was like the salacious baby oil and the man on man stuff that we thought and now know what was going on. That was more damaging than him. I mean, unfortunately, smacking a chick, I mean, that's forgivable in our society. I mean, unfortunately, it is. That's not the death sentence of your career.
Yeah.
Unless you Ray Rice.
That definitely took him out. So,
but Ray Rice was really only because there was footage.
Yeah, it was because he only got the 2-game suspension at first, and then the video came out, and it was like, nah, bro. Yeah. Speaking of Diddy, real quick, I had a conversation, impromptu, a couple days ago about Diddy. I don't even remember how the conversation came up, and I don't know, things that I would never think about, but we were talking about Diddy in the case, and talking about his different just different sexual habits, and it was brought to my attention that the rumor is, and maybe I missed this during the whole Diddy trial, is that Diddy has a micro penis. Did you hear this?
No, I didn't hear that. I don't want to hear that, but
okay. I mean, that's the same things we never pay attention to, but the rumor is, or what was being talked about was did he got a that's why he liked to watch because he can't please and the whole thing. But anyway, never mind. I ain't even want to go there. Yeah, super pause on that. I do want to get to something that's it's an interesting topic to see what you think. So this man went viral. He chose to do a year in prison instead of sending back $1.5 billion to someone who erroneously sent it to him. Reggie, are you doing the year for the B? 1.5 billion.
Oh, easy. That's easy.
That's easy.
That's an easy one. I mean, I was thinking like when they like how much of that was he able to actually hold on to?
Right.
Because I mean, there was a lot of seizures, bank accounts taken. It was a lot of stuff. However, he was like moving this money around pretty good, like through real estate and all kinds of stuff. So I just would wonder, like he knew the walls was closing in. So he was sending that money all different ways. I just wonder how much of it will he actually be able to like walk away from, and will he actually see any of that money is the question.
That's the question.
Right. I hope that he was able to get some actual cash and not it all being digital, because it seemed like it would be something that they would be able to track and get that money. I'm saying all of that to say I'm still doing the year. Like I'm still doing the year. I'm gonna see what it looks like at the end of it. Maybe you got a Swiss bank somewhere. Or
that is interesting. You brought up something I never considered. That would be key for me on whether or not I'm doing that year. How much of that money is still digital versus cash in shoeboxes under a mattress buried in the backyard? Because if most of it's still digital, they can hit some keys and be like, no, that's a crazy thing. Like, just think about how we live today. The money that we have is digital and we find comfort in that. That's insane if you just like think about it. But yeah, how much of that is digital to where it's just like, nah, you got it. Let me hit control, delete, whatever. Not, you don't have it anymore. But if I'm going, I mean, logically, yes, you do the year. I'd like to believe I can get through a year of jail, not in a maximum security, because that might make things complicated. I mean, put me in minimum security, let me chill, yeah, I mean, for a year and I come back to some sort of funds.
But also here's another question for you, D. Like, how freely will he be able to spend any money without someone,
a bunch of eyes?
Right, exactly. Now I know he wasn't American, right? I don't think he's not American.
No.
So, he was somewhere overseas, and I don't know, maybe he can go to a place that doesn't track. Like I said, Switzerland, Cayman Islands, those are like the ones we hear about,
right,
movies, stuff like that.
Like how you get caught with that? You ain't just jump on a plane and go to Bali. Like, what's up?
Well, but here's the thing. You just said it.
Me and Russell Simmons would have been the best of friends.
Digital. So once they found it, they hit the button. They had to. They had to. I mean, and it probably took a while because they probably had to get like court orders and stuff like that to be able to see somebody's account. But once they did, it was a wrap. And if he, and I have to assume he should have planned for this. Because that's not the type of money that they wouldn't know that's missing. We're talking about $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. Talking about $1 billion. So hopefully he liquidated some of that money into some real cash, and it's somewhere that he can access it when he gets out, or someone that he trusts has it. But he wouldn't even be able to make any large purchases. They're gonna be owning.
And I'm curious at the fact that the money was sent from somebody to him. I wonder what the rules are as far as, okay, you sent this to this person, you fucked up. Like, can the government or do they, is it their responsibility and will they step in if you act like, if I, you can't send $1 billion on Cash App, I don't think, but if I send a large amount of money that I care about to someone on Cash App, like, can they just be like, well, you fucked up? Like, I know it's $1 billion, but like, you fucked up.
I mean,
I mean,
I think because it's, and I'm assuming it was a banking error, right? It- the banks have a lot of money,
they do.
and they have a
Yeah.
lot of money to be able to force the government to do something,
Yeah.
right? To force them to be able to force them to fix this. And so I think banks have I think there are laws that says if a bank like sends you something incorrectly that they can get it back. I haven't really heard of like the jail part of it, but I think there are laws that say if it's a banking error and you that they can try to get it back. That is not like you can keep it. But I don't know, if you spent it, I don't know if now, like I said, I don't think this was in the United States, but I don't think that it should be jail time involved. Like that seems kind of crazy.
Can we
Like
do this real quick? Real quick. Because my mind right now is racing. The concept of money. What is it? Is it real? Because, like we just discussed, right? It's all digital now. That means that somebody behind a desk can access your account and type some numbers, and now you have that to spend.
yeah,
Who gives a fuck?
I mean,
Like, it's not real. It's
I mean,
numbers, it's key taps.
it is, but to the ones who have it, it's very real to them. So
It's like
everybody can't have it because everybody would buy
it's
this.
it's literally key taps. It's literally somebody who can just go, all right, I want to give this person $2 billion.
So,
Like,
but
that can happen.
it can. What I thought was interesting is I always in my mind I would hear about
The bag man and dope man got Cash App, nigga. That's digital. They could, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
sorry, I'm
yeah,
responding
no,
to the chat.
right, but I would always think like you hear about fraud all the time where somebody goes to somebody's account, takes their money out. You hear about it
Mm,
all the time, right? And I always thought how come that never happens the other way? How come people don't just randomly like some money just drop in their account because
right.
like I mean it has to be errors in anything that's done. And
Yeah.
this situation just showed me that it can be errors the other way. That somebody hit the wrong. There probably was one number off in their bank account and hit boot, and it was and my man he probably I wonder if he got like an alert and that joint was like
Exactly. Like,
zero
what do
zero
you do?
zero
Like,
zero.
what do you do? All right, we took it to the if you do in a year. What do you do, Reggie, if you wake up to the bank area and see you getting dressed for work, you putting on your tie? Yeah, I mean, you look at your phone to check the weather, and you notice a notification from the bank like you got $1.6 billion in your account. What do you do at that point? What do you do?
I mean, so what I would try to do, because I know it's going to be a expiration date on this, right? I know that this ain't something that ain't going to happen. You try to withdraw as much as possible,
Oh,
right?
okay. All right. Okay.
Try to withdraw as much as possible. I mean, however, that also is going to create like a paper trail.
For
Like
sure.
you have this amount of money that you've taken out. Um, I mean, I don't really think it's a lot that you could do, but that would be the thing. I would try to withdraw as much money as possible. But after probably the second withdrawal, it's probably going to be some type of alert.
Yeah.
Like you go to the bank, say I need 100,000. First
Yeah.
off, the bank may not even have that amount of money on site because most money is digital, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna probably have to, call in the mint or something to get this money, and that's gonna create all kinds of red flags, right? All kinds of red flags.
The
You
mall.
might be you might be better just buying shit. That might just be, but yeah, it's gonna be like I said. Once you start withdrawing a lot of money, it's gonna be a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
And they're
They
gonna
really
probably,
got to show. We can't do
yeah,
nothing.
right.
Yeah, they made money. They made everything did. I heard this. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how I forgot where it was, but whatever this facility was, it was a cashless facility, and they don't have ATMs. They got, I don't even know what the word is for it. You put cash in the machine, and it gives you a card with the amount of cash that you put on it.
Hmm.
So it's like we really, I think this was what's the Brooklyn Nets stadium called?
Barclay.
The Barclay. Yeah, I think this is at the Barclay if I'm not mistaken. I could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what the facility is, where it's like money is it's digital. So that's why I don't get this whole deficit and budget shit, but we'll get to that maybe in a political perspective. If I got $1 billion notification, I'm getting dressed, getting ready to go to work, $1 billion, I would be terrified. I don't even know. I would be terrified. Like where, and somebody would have to let me know, is there a banking institution, what's the higher Chase or whatever, whatever one of those banks is there a bank where you could take out large sums of money where it's like I Bank of America. I don't bank with one of those banks, but is there a bank where you could go take out a large sum of money and it's like, all right, cool.
I mean, it might be, but we probably don't know of it. That's the thing, because we ain't
Yeah.
dealing in them
No,
numbers,
for
right?
sure.
It might be, it might be a bank that you can go to that does have that type of money on site. I would think that you would have to call ahead. I can't imagine any bank having that type of money on site. I mean, it does make you think of like how just complicated you would have to just in order to try to get away with something like that, how difficult it would be to try to really get away with that. And from what I read, it appeared like he was getting away with it.
Yeah.
Like he was doing he was doing more than just being on shopping sprees. Like I said, he was buying properties. He was like really like getting it. And I don't know if that caused him to maybe get on somebody's radar. But I mean, and I think we all, and one of the comments is about the 10,000 single transaction.
Yeah.
I think that, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking kind of like B. I think that 10,000 is probably for us broke niggas.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like
Yeah.
if you're say
Mark Cuban, for
yeah,
example,
right,
could take out $10,000
yeah,
if he needs to.
but let's say you and I are billionaires or millionaires or whatever, and I got something that I want to purchase from you
Yeah.
that may be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm sure I can do that, right? Like I think that 10,000 is just for broke people. I mean, we
For
all know that
brokenness. Yeah.
that there are rules for we and rules for thee. And,
Yeah.
and those, like, I think a lot of those rules probably go out the window when you got that kind of bread.
When the last time you used cash for a transaction?
I had some cash because somebody gave me cash that I needed, so it would have been this weekend. But before that, no. I mean, I'm proud. Maybe a few months.
Yeah.
I don't even like to carry cash because cash you could lose cash. Like it's just not something that I really have to use cash at all.
Cash question. At this point, this is a small dilemma I have in life. what do I do with this?
It's,
If anybody, it's a change jar. What do you do with this?
I'm gonna tell you what to do with it. You hold on to it because at some point they're gonna be antiques.
I don't. So the change jar was a good idea when you use cash. You know, you spend cash, you out, you put the change at the end of the day left in your pocket in the change jar. Sometimes if you had dollars, you would put dollars in there. But I realized at this point, I'm not doing any of that. I haven't put change in here in eons because I don't use cash and I don't take change out of here because I don't use cash. So now this is like a really, really, really fucking heavy table decoration or paperweight. And it's like, what do you do with your change jars? Like, what do you do?
It's cash
Like
them in.
it, and if you could see, like this is not like a huge change jar, so it's not going to do much of anything. It's kind of for me, it's insignificant amount to take to the market and cash it in because what's going to be probably like $15 maybe is like, but again, it's just a jar. I guess I could use the jar for something else because what the fuck? There's just change in here that's just probably going to outlive me.
So B, I used to have a change jar similar to that size,
Okay.
and I would every time the jar would get to the top, I would buy a pair of sneakers.
Okay.
Like, but at some point, it stayed the same. So I
like you don't do nothing.
like this much worth of change.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, oh,
shoestrings. Like,
man,
but
like the same $4 is in here.
yeah, but I used to have so many transactions with money and had loose change that I was able to throw it in a jar, and every time it got full, I would actually take it to my bank, and I would use that money to buy a pair of sneakers.
Well, on to some. There's a question for how many sneakers you own? How many pairs of sneakers you own?
Probably maybe 50.
Okay.
I have not bought a pair of sneakers in a while. Yeah, in a while. So yeah, probably like 50. And this is just my collection that I've had. How many designer Jones I have? I have at least I got some Givenchy, some Balenciagos, maybe 4 or 5 designer sneakers. Not counting my Travis Scott 4s, which
Okay.
is the most expensive sneaker that I've ever bought. And that's a grip. So shout out to Travis Scott 4s. Step your game up. I'm not in the game no more. I'm just
I'm out the game. No, he's on me. I'm definitely out
yeah.
the game. Yeah, no, you know what's crazy? I know we probably talked about this before, but I'm really at the age where I'm preferring comfort over name. And I thought I'd never get there.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
One thing I don't own, I've never owned a pair of Crocs. So I said for 2026, I
same.
would a pair of Crocs. I never I hear so many people talk about them. But I've yet to purchase a pair.
Yeah, so I told I never bought a pair, same thing. I never bought a pair, never had a pair, but my son, he'd swear by Crocs, right? He wear them all the time. And his foot is smaller than mine, but I did try his Crocs on. He had a pair that was kind of bigger. I guess they ran big. And I'm just mad comfortable. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get a pair, but I just never do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm old dog with the slippers.
Yeah. Well, real quick, we'll segue into somebody who didn't have any problems finding a way to spend his money. Olympic snowboarder. So Olympic snowboarder. Ryan Wedding. He had a cocaine empire and he got caught up on some dumb shit. Had Instagram posts showing off his Patek, his McLaren. Yeah, I mean, making fun of asset seizures and metadata, shout out to Meta, revealed where his Mexico hideout was. leading to his arrest. Now, we know that Jeezy's the snowman. We gotta call Bull the Snow King. I mean, he was getting it.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what's interesting about that is like he's been wanted for a while, right?
Yeah,
And I think everything that surrounds him and how he became like this cocaine king
yeah.
is the height of white DEI. How the hell is a white snowboarder,
Yeah,
Olympic snowboarder, some kind of way gonna be the head of a cartel? What's going on? Like that's absolutely kind of crazy when you think about it. But also, I hate to always go here, right? But there is this thought that black and brown people are like just criminals, right? Like
mhm.
it's just this thought that by and large, the black and brown people are criminal, but you always see a white person up in there. Like you always see it. Like even with the thing in Minnesota with the Somalians, they don't talk about the white lady that is the ringleader of the whole thing, right? And
Facts.
I think that it's just so kind of interesting how unfortunately we are the ones that are looked at as criminals, looked at as violent, and looked at in these kind of negative ways. And but the ones who are really the criminals, the ones who are really violent are unfortunately everyone, not just,
Mhm.
not just black, brown people. Like people are just criminals and violent, just
Yeah,
unfortunately by nature. But we get that stereotype, and it's just crazy when you see something like that where it's a white guy that's running drugs.
it's really hard as you get older to not see how race plays a factor in everything. I said it in our chat a couple weeks ago where I said that it's crazy how they used black faces as the face of welfare and welfare fraud and what people were using welfare for only to adjust for those states that were predominant majority white states to adjust some shit as far as the welfare. It's like, well, wait a minute, you demonized welfare using our faces, women in bonnets, and did interviews, and then all of a sudden you changed the laws in these states as far as what you could use. It's just wild. It's hard not to see these things as you get older. And I agree with you 100%. It's like, yo, you talked about Somali, like if you just watch TV, it's like, yeah, the Somalis in Minnesota is going crazy. But hold on, it's the ringleader, it's this white chick. Put
Right.
her on the news.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but yeah, that unfortunately is the history of the United States.
Hmm.
Is demonizing the minority, even in the face of undisputable data. And it's like, the whole thing about the immigrants are being fraudulent, and the first thing I thought about was fraud is about as American as you can be.
For sure.
like that fraud is the American way. Like they
For
fitting right
sure.
in with people like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like talking about fraud.
Well,
Like
hold on. Not to segue too far from this guy, because I got questions. Do you think you have the discipline to be getting away with a cocaine empire and not have an Instagram to flaunt? Like, because I'm looking at the Instagram post. He got 73,000 followers. He's following 224 people. And one of the first posts you see is the watch, the Patek. Do you have to post that? Like, is that like, do you have to have the Instagram to post that? Can't you just be happy with your money? Like, he got the Patek. He got a helicopter showing he taking a helicopter ride. He's showing like a bunch of motorcycles and shit. It's like, do you gotta do that?
I mean, unfortunately, that too is the American way.
Oh my God.
That too is the American way. Like, first off, you a criminal. Like, I mean, that's really it. You're a criminal, and you're flaunting the possessions that you've gotten from being a criminal. I mean, you're on the FBI's most wanted list, bro. Why you got Instagram is beyond comprehension.
Yeah,
Like who you stunting for? Like it's like, because it ain't like it's some chick where in Minnesota that cares. Like, you in Mexico. So
right.
I mean, and I'm sure you got the pick of the litter. Right.
Facts.
I'm sure you got the pick of the litter. And if you wanted somebody to come from wherever to come to Mexico, you probably can get that too. Right. That's you talk about like world's dumbest criminals.
Yeah.
He gotta be the world's dumbest criminal.
Right. Real quick segue. The dumbest civilian of the week, according to me, is the Philly sanitation worker.
Oh man. Felicia just told me. I didn't even know. Felicia told me about that when we was driving in today. And oh man, give the audience some detail on that, B.
So we talked about earlier at the top of the show how we had a bunch of snow in the city, and if you're not familiar, sanitation workers usually are the ones who plow the streets and salt the streets. They get overtime, they get paid, they love it or whatever. Or the ones that I know love it. You got a video taken from, it looks like his cell phone, of a sanitation worker plowing the streets, but using very colorful language, saying, "Stay the fuck home. If I can't drive, you can't drive," using a lot of expletives. And it was, for me, it was never funny, because it's like, this is not the time for that. I could see how people could find it funny. Maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon at this point, but it's like, the snow is a hassle. It's in the way for everybody. It made its rounds on social media, and now you know who got a hold of it? NBC 10.
Yep.
I saw it on the official NBC 10 Twitter, where they're real life reporters, and they real life reached out to his bosses. Is it worth the potential losing your job as a sanitation worker, the years you put in, the pension, to go viral? Like, what would the number have to be? How much you got to make to going viral for that to be?
I mean, you would have to make millions, which we're sure he's not.
Right. I just want to real quick. Let me address the bull in the chat real quick, because he's saying it's funny and it's hilarious. He's saying that where it's 80 degrees. He's saying that from a spot where you not plowed or stuck in the snow. So
right, no doubt.
Right, it's a little less than funny. But yeah, for me, that was the DH civilian of the week.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that all jobs have some type of social media clause that
for
says
sure
you cannot post. You cannot make posts like while you're at work. Certainly, while you're have the job's logo or something like that present, or there's a way to be able to tie you to the job. And for him to do that, it's an unforced error. I mean, I know a lot.
Definitely an unforced error.
People do it. It's dumb. I think that there is some laughter in it. However, for him, I mean, they might make an example of him. I mean, I hope it doesn't go that far.
Yeah,
but I mean, they might make an example of him.
Yeah,
because he is representing the city workers, representing the city. And like I said, I'm sure they have probably very strict rules about posting stuff while you're working.
for sure.
He's on a cell phone while he's driving. I'm sure that alone probably could get him fired.
Right.
Cell phone driving a big ass sanitation vehicle.
Right. Right.
Right. So a lot of like whys,
A
like
lot of
why.
layers. A lot of
Yeah.
layers to that to see where that plays out. So they didn't really say what the outcome was. They did say is being handled internally. I'm sure we'll find out more about that. That's local Philly news. Um, that's happening there. But yeah, the snowboarder guy, you played yourself. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, you played yourself. Um,
So I did see some reports that he might have turned himself in, or it was some kind of like conflicting reports
oh,
about
did he?
whether or
I
not,
didn't
yeah, whether
see
or not
that.
he got arrested, whether or not he turned himself in. There was some kind of like conflicting reports. I don't know if you got a chance to check that part out, but I did read that he and here's the thing about the internet, like you have to spend more time fact checking things than actually reading a particular article or a particular story. Like, and the
Right.
information be sometimes it be suspect. It be suspect. But I know I did read some reports that either he or his team was saying that he surrendered. I know he already pleaded like not guilty, so whatever the charges were. But there was some just some chatter that if he may have not gotten found, that he would have turned himself in. And I I don't think that it would make much sense. Like I don't think anybody should turn themselves into the police. Never make their job
Right.
like, I mean, never make their job easy. I don't know if the police even have the authority without clearing it with probably Trump's police could probably do anything, but the authority to go into a foreign country and arrest somebody, and they have to partner with that country. Unless it's Venezuela, then we just go in there and kill a bunch of people and snatch up who we want. Um but yeah, that was something that I did see something that may have pointed towards that. But
Well, he was really, really a kingpin. I'm just reading over it real quick. It said the FBI did offer a $10 million reward, which eventually increased to 15 million in November 2025. Um, they said that he ordered the murder of someone. Where did that go? Uh, let's see. I just read that. Sorry. Anyway, he did order. He was out here moving around. He ordered some. He ordered a hit on somebody. Married couple. Jagtar Sidhu and Harabajan Sidhu and Muhammad Zafar. He ordered them killed. And I did see that he turned himself in voluntarily. However, his attorney, Anthony Colombo, is saying he was apprehended non-voluntarily. I wonder what that was about. Is that spin for uh
the jury.
the cartel or the jury or the cartel, like I ain't snitch, like I ain't turning myself in because you know what I
Mm.
mean.
I just it wouldn't track for me for him to turn
Hmm.
himself in.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make much sense to me. Like you gotten away this long. Like, I mean, like I said, why would you ever make the police? Why would you do the job for them?
Yeah.
Like make them come. I'm gonna tell you this. Why was he in Mexico? Like, man, I'd have been Switzerland.
Right. Right. Somewhere
Right.
nice.
Yeah,
Somewhere nice with something nice for real.
right. Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
um.
But
So
James
wait,
had
we
a question.
yeah, we had a question. How do we feel about the how the mayor is handling the snow situation? For me, I don't really blame the mayor because this has been the past before, even before she was mayor. Um, the way the snow is handled is it's been pretty consistent from mayor to mayor. I do feel like when we were younger kids, I do remember like watching TV and seeing like the trucks out at night handling or just like prepping for the snow. I don't see that now. is now it's more of a wait till it's done and then we'll deal with it thing. Um, what I do find interesting or hilarious is, so I talked about Cheltenham Avenue earlier in the episode, but one side of Cheltenham Avenue is Elkins Park, and the other side of Cheltenham Avenue is Philly. So a lot of times when it snows, you can see the Elkins Park side salted and clear roadway, whereas the Philly side has been untouched. And it's just an interesting dynamic to see, like it's the same road, but because the road falls on different counties, one side took care of it, the other side. But I have seen the reports where people are pissed at the mayor for not doing anything. But for me, it's just pretty consistent with how it's been handled over the past few mayors.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people are going to complain always,
Yeah,
right? And when you're in her position, and I don't envy her position at all,
right.
you're never going to be without detractors. It's just the way it is. And like you said, I mean, the snow has been consistently handled poorly well before her. And I
Yeah,
don't know if there are any infrastructure reasons why it's not handled better. I do know that we are really kind of dealing in just a different environment. Than, let's just say, the blizzard of '96, right? I
yeah,
mean, that was 30 years ago, and
yeah.
so many things have changed over 30 years. I mean, one thing is there are much more cars on the street.
That's a fact.
Much more cars on the street. Whereas, years ago, having a car was a luxury, and most households that had cars only had one car.
Yeah,
Now, most households have at least two.
yeah.
And not to mention all of the ride share apps and things of that nature. I think it's much more people on the streets. It's much more cars on the streets, which means that
Mhm.
it's going to be even more difficult to clear out snow because now you're boxing people in, and it just becomes a little more complicated with so many cars on the road. I mean, what I've seen is, I've seen some people parked in some crazy
Oh
ways,
my God, yo.
sideways. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he was parked crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Besides, like, roads getting clear, and I know like 95 and 76 is totally clear, like not a drop of snow on any of them roads and the major streets. But I don't really know, like, what would be the expectation. What's the expectation of how it should look 24 hours, 48 hours after the last snowflake? Like what are people's expectations?
Yeah.
I don't really know. And what is the expectations compared to, say, like, similar cities, similar weather? I just told you about South Carolina. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
before I would run and just start being critical of her or the administration, I would just kind of want to look at just the entirety of it, and what's the expectation? Because right now it's ice. I don't really know what you do with that.
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta, it's crazy. This is the crazy part it's not just the snow. Like, okay, we got the snow. The crazy part for me at this point is there's no day in the forecast that's going over freezing. So it's just here to stay.
Barely over 20.
Right. It's like it's just here to stay. It's like we rocking out with this snow till April or whatever. Hopefully not, but it's here.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't know.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, she handled it however way she handled it. I don't even know if she handled it. I mean, I'm sure she ain't out there driving no plow truck. I mean, whoever is in charge of that, they probably need to do a better job. But like I said, I don't even know what the expectations really is.
Yeah. All right. I want one more topic I want to get to before we get to the political perspective this week. There's a woman on social media. This is from a couple days ago, probably 2 weeks ago. She says she's unattractive and nobody wants her, and it's hard being unattractive because nobody wants to date ugly women, and she's really down about her prospects of or ability to find love. I don't understand this because I'm a man and I know how much straight men love pussy. So I don't know. I don't know how to process what she's saying. I'm not trying to disregard her struggle that she feels she's having.
I'm
I
going to.
know. Okay. So here I was watching something, and it was a lawyer, and he was or a psychiatrist or psychologist, and he was making an interesting point how um women can sometimes say they want these type of qualities in a man. I want him to be tall, I want him to be this, I want him to have this, I want him to have that, right? And what he said was that a lot of times the part that women leave out is they want the men that they're attracted to have those qualities. And
Interesting.
I say that to say I feel like this woman saying, it's hard dating or finding love as an unattractive woman, maybe that has something to do with what she's saying, where it's like I'm having trouble dating the men that I want to date.
I think that's exactly what she's saying.
Bec-
Go
Go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think that's exactly what she's saying. I think she's saying that the men that she wants
Yeah.
don't necessarily want her, and maybe that's making her feel unattractive. I think that being like attractive, unattractive, like that's all subjective.
Facts.
Like it's like that's 100% subjective. Because even culturally it's subjective. Like, I mean, you can go into other countries and what they consider attractive is totally different. So your own kind of self-esteem and self-worth is just that. It's from self.
Yeah.
So if she's interested in all of these guys that maybe they in in her mind look a certain way, or maybe even have a certain type of appearance, maybe even have a certain physique, and these are the men that she is attracted to, or even the men that she may even want, and those men don't want her. That doesn't mean she's not attractive. That means that she just ain't on that level. And I think it's just very interesting because, and you've mentioned this before, B. Social media has the ability has had the ability to inflate a lot of egos,
Yeah.
like inflate a lot of egos. So the fact that she would even say that means that she's probably, because I'm sure that when she posted that, there was 1.6 million people, men and women, that were
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, you're attractive. Why are you saying that? You look nice. Oh, I wouldn't mind taking you out. I'm in your DM
Right.
right now." Like you're getting that type of attention, and I'm
Right.
sure. And she was not like what I would consider somebody that was like unattractive, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so I mean, the first thing I thought of, that she was just doing that for clicks. Like, come on,
Okay. You feel like it's just for okay.
yeah.
I
Because
didn't think about it.
I just want to say one last thing.
Go
B, jump in there. I'm also from the new school of B, three exclamation points, that says that a woman's a woman has a currency that men don't have. So you can use that currency however you want, but
right.
they have a currency, and she has a currency that is attractive. That's
For
all I'm gonna
sure. Somebody somewhere out there want that joint bad. And I'm glad I'm glad you cleared that up, because I didn't say this because I really feel like we probably, me, you, and James could be in unison. Like, this is not an unattractive lady.
No.
She not unattractive at all. You know what I think it is? I think that there is a point where um what Dr. Orion Taraban likes to say is the sexual marketplace value starts to favor men more than women somewhere around the age of 30. So you don't really. Like you may have had the ability to shut guys down that wanted you, and maybe now the guys that you was shutting down or the guys that was looking at you aren't looking at you at the same level, and maybe that's making her feel unattractive. I do feel like and I'm not saying this as a diss. I feel like I get curious and I feel sad because I feel like there's a reality at some point that women have to face that they may not be prepared for, because a lot of times men lie to women and make them feel like, yeah, the shit you say is cool or whatever you say is right, because men are trying to fuck. And then at some point, we don't you not that. So then men start telling you the truth and you don't really know how to deal with that. A lot of times it might be in your 30s and now you got to navigate this world where men are telling you the truth not to get to the pussy. It's like, I can just tell you the truth because whatever. Um, so I think it might be a lot of that, but unattractive, no. She got that. Yeah, I mean, she got that. She's not a 3 a.m. John James. She is not a 3 a.m. John. She's
Definitely.
not a 3 a.m. John. Like, yeah, I mean, you catch her in the right bar, she might be the first one you go to. Yeah, I mean, you take or drink or two. She's not unattractive.
So I had a chick that not I had a chick, but we I read one of her posts once. So she's one of those like workout chicks. She like in tip top
Yeah,
shape. And one of the things she was like, how can she pretty much was saying that it didn't make sense that there were so many men that were trying to get with her that had like beer bellies, and she's like she was kind of like the audacity, right?
yeah,
And and the first thing I thought was it's so different from men to women. Like it's so different because we are totally fine with overshooting our shot, right?
for
We
sure.
we shoot up all the time. Like
Yeah,
like what? Nah,
right,
we like it doesn't matter. Like Beyonce walk in here, I'm trying to get that number, and if she be like fuck out of here, it's not gonna ain't gonna kill me, right? I mean,
right.
so it's such just an interesting dynamic, like you said,
Reach
B.
for the moon, you get the stars, right? Yeah, I mean,
There
or
you
something like
go.
that.
I mean, so we don't really have that, um, just that type of like pressure, like you said. I mean, in this currency, in this sexual currency, like you said. I mean, unfortunately, women a lot of times they lose their currency as they get older, and
Yeah,
men gain their currency as they get older. It's a horrible kind of dynamic, but it really is the truth. But I don't really think there's
horrible might not be the word I'd use.
horrible dynamic.
Horrible. I mean, I feel like it evens out because we talked about it before. Like in your 20s, as a man, you go through the ringer because these women be it and they know they it and they put you through the ringer and don't give a shit. And then as we get older, they get, their perimenopauses and they start having aches and pains and wrinkles and the weight's not falling off like it used to. The statistic, what it says a woman 40 years old and older has to work out an hour a day just to stay the same size that she is now, and we make more money and get distinguished. So it's like, eh, it evens out.
Yeah, and like James had said, some women are attracted to confidence, and that's something that like a man, even a man that would be kind of like traditionally called like unattractive, can
Yeah,
do things to make himself more attractive. I mean,
yeah.
you got money, you attractive,
Facts.
right? If you know how to dress, you know how to throw it on, you attractive.
Yeah,
Like you work out, you go to the gym, you attractive.
right.
So but money has never really enhanced a woman's attraction. It
Right,
may,
because we don't care about that. Right, we
right.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah. So we have some options if we
yeah,
are ugly.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this woman, shout out to her. I don't know her name, but she's definitely not unattractive. She got titties. She got a BBL. Yeah, I mean, she could. All she
She
gotta
got me a
do
meal.
is.
I ain't really looked that hard.
I
Yeah, I
don't
ain't,
know if she got. No, what I'm saying is, all she gotta do is get a BBL. She gonna go. She don't gotta do nothing. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
However, if she feel like she unattractive, yeah, I mean, just go get a BBL. This shit gonna change because she got the titties already. Shout out to her. Um, somebody in the comments said, "You're not ugly. You just broke. I promise." That's me.
Good one. I love that.
Yeah. Um. All right. So I think it's time. Political perspective time. Um. I don't know where you're going with this. It's been a lot going on as far as Minnesota, MAGA Minaj. Shout out to her. But where are
So
we going? Well, actually, intro the segment, and we'll get to it.
absolutely. So welcome to the political perspective. I am one half of our host, Reggie, aka Speed and Bullet, and the other half, my man B. 3 exclamation points. And always remember, if you are not political, then you do not have a perspective. We gonna just stay at Minnesota for a second,
Okay.
and just talk about ICE in Minnesota. ICE has killed another person. Um, and this, so ICE has been doing these what they would call targeted raids, where they are supposed to be going after a particular target that they have some type of geographical, some type of information on this person. And what they have, what has ended up happening is, before they get there, people are protesting, people are alerting the neighborhood that ICE is having some type of activity. So the video that you guys may have seen involved the shooting of Alex Preddy, and in the video, you'll see ICE officers doing something that was always kind of odd to me. Is it never appears that these ICE people are engaging with an immigrant, right? Like I don't see them like attempting to
Right.
arrest an immigrant. Like it always looks like they are moving in on the people that are protesting. So even in this video, some folks are protesting. Alex Pretty had his phone out, apparently recording the interaction, because you kind of need that. Obviously, in these days, you need a recording of your interaction with ICE. They don't wear body cams.
Yeah.
So another woman that was out there with him, she was pushed. He tried to, what it appears, either try to help her, assist her, and when he made that attempt, the officers now they directed their kind of process onto him. So now they grip him up, try to take him down to the ground. Officer sees a gun, yells gun. They end up shooting at least 10 rounds at
Yeah.
him while he's on the ground.
Face
And they're
down.
kind of like
Right.
struggling with him. And what's interesting is like the immediate response from Homeland Security was that this guy is a domestic terrorist. He attacked them with a firearm. He was brandishing his firearm. None of those things were true at all. And DHS has made a lot of statements that have just been totally untrue. But a lot of times when people can kind of squint a little bit, they can see what they want to see. But in this particular video, it's very kind of indisputable what actually happened. He had a cell phone. He had a firearm that was in his waistband, but he never at one point, that we could see, tried to reach for the firearm, tried to attack the agents or anything like that. It looks like it was an unjust shooting, and now there appears to be some conversation about an actual investigation, to see if there was any wrongdoing. But initially, they were calling this guy a domestic terrorist. Everything that you can name, they were throwing at this guy. Now, within the last 24 hours, there was a video of him having another interaction with ICE about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because this happens with Black people all the time, right? something happens and they will bring up an incident that has nothing to do with this particular incident, but they're going to use that as to say, well, here's a
This was
pattern.
the character, right?
Right. Here's a pattern. This is the type of person that y'all don't know that
Yeah.
we're dealing with out here in the street. But it shows a video of him apparently maybe spitting at a vehicle, at an ICE vehicle. We don't really know what the context of that exchange was. He ended up kicking the vehicle, and he ended up kicking the shit out the vehicle, bust the tail light, everything. And they actually and I think that this is kind of like crazy to me. Like, they just pretty much just whooped his ass and then got back in the truck and drove off. Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
so like and that's the part that's kind of like, so ICE is really like a gang. Like,
No,
because
they are.
if he did something that was unprovoked, and he should be arrested, right?
Hmm.
Like, let's lock him up, charge him, whatever, and whatever. But no, they hopped out the vehicle, tuned him up, didn't try to arrest him, just tuned him up, and then just pulled off and left.
Yeah.
Right. Like, but you have you have a lot of people online. A lot of these pundits are now pointing to this video saying that this is the guy that ICE had to interact. And we, as Black people, we've seen this for years, where they'll insult your character. They'll try to tear you down just so they can kind of justify their behavior. But a video 10 days ago, however many days ago, has nothing to do with what just happened. And what just happened was, he wasn't armed. He was not threatening them. They appeared to just shoot him for what probably was either a blatant just, and I don't want to say that police are just blatantly like murdering people, right? But it's hard for me to understand, like, how do you go from, it's 4 or 5 of us like beating this dude down.
Hmm.
We go from that to now where 2 of the officers are shooting him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't know how do you get to that? Even if he had a gun that was present, that was in his waistband, how do you end up shooting him multiple times? Like, it could be a miscommunication, and we see a lot of miscommunication between police all the time, where police
Yeah.
are where
I'm not shooting them niggas no bail about a miscommunication.
I'm not either, just because of their tactics, and they what I think is interesting is there's so much that's interesting about this, but we don't, like, as far as I know, no ICE officer has been killed. So it's not like these guys are in just the most dangerous scenarios. But I'm gonna just keep going back to, it's not like they are like actively arresting someone and people are like in their way. Like, you don't see them. All you see is them just engaging with people, and
Right.
that's the part that makes me understand and know that it's not really about immigrants. It's really about causing as much chaos in the city and the state as much as possible. It's not about the immigrant community. It's about just harassing people and just really paying back any city or state that did not vote for Trump.
Yeah.
This is a way of paying them back.
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts on this. When I first heard Christy Noem's comments, I was I was confused whether or not A, she saw the video, or B, if she knew there was a video that people had access to. Did she think she had access to a different Twitter, like a MAGA only Twitter? Because the video was very, very clear as day. You could see that Alex Preddy was face down on the ground. You saw that although he was armed, you saw that the weapon was removed from his person before they decided to shoot him while he was face down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that was wild for her to say that. And I think I saw that she's trying to walk back those comments. I didn't verify to see if it was a real story. But I did see something where she alluded to saying like, "Oh, I was just taking direction from Stephen Miller and Trump." Um, but we can verify that another time. Um, that's one. Uh, I found it very, I can't say entertaining or funny because he lost his life. Well, it happens when Black people we lose our lives at the hands of law enforcement. That what I usually find, I tweeted this yesterday, is their favorite line is when they kill a Black person. Oh, he had weed in his system. That's the go-to. Like just because a Black person had weed in their system, it puts in the mind like they was into some. We were into a Black person, whatever Black person was into some heinous foul shit, and we did you a favor by killing this drug addicted criminal, right?
Hmm.
And to see Alex Preddy, that video come out of him, as you said, kicking the shit out that car um, and knocking the tail light off right after he was unjustifiably murdered, is it's just, as a Black person, I'm sure we feel the same sentiment. It's wild to see because, oh, you're doing this to white citizens. It's like, wow, that's wow.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you could do
so
that to white citizens, ain't nobody safe.
yeah, so I thought that was particularly interesting about this whole thing. And I find I'm struggling. I don't know what the reason is. I haven't thought it out all the way, but I'm having a hard time referring to ICE as police or law enforcement because I know too much about, what their training look like and how they're operating. We would like to believe that most police are trying to do good. We would like to believe that. There is nothing I see that ICE is doing good. So it's a disconnect for me personally to refer to them as police or law enforcement. They're just a gang of scared people who are racist that's doing shit. To me, in my mind, they're just a gang of this iteration of what ICE is or that's happening in Minnesota. It's like you're scared and they put you out there with 47 days of training and you're scared of interaction. And I feel like the basis of it is rooted in racism. Sorry. Um, and now you're out there with a gun and clandestine because you can't see your face and you can't, like, there's no consequences because Trump has already said they have immunity. So, and he's backing them on his Truth Social page. So it's like I can do whatever. The guy told the protester the other day, if you raise your voice, I will erase your voice. What kind of shit is that? How do
Hmm.
you like? It's
Yeah. And
rest in peace to Alex. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that you know, the direction always comes from the top, right? And when you tell a group of people, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? And if something happens, we're gonna back you. We're gonna spin it. We're gonna make sure that you are good. We're gonna make sure that you are whole. That gives people no reason for this, just throws caution to the wind.
Hmm.
Whereas in real policing, there is accountability.
Right.
There are, I mean, and most police officers now, especially in big cities, they all have body cams. So there's no more your word against mine. It's on camera. There's like citizen advisory boards that review police conduct. But when you're talking about ICE, and like you said, they're not police. They're really a gang. That's
Hmm.
given specific instructions on how to operate. I mean, and like you said, I mean, ICE has been around for years. I mean, I think ICE has been around at least 30 years.
Hmm.
or longer. And they've never behaved in this manner. So that means that they are getting a direction from from the top that y'all can do whatever y'all want.
Yeah.
We gonna back y'all, and then you mix that, like you said, with a lack of training. You mix that with a already unhealthy fear of Black and brown people. So now they're engaged there, and we've seen studies like this in the 80s that police are human. So if all they're getting is black male suspect, Hispanic
Yeah.
suspect, now they
Yeah.
start to be conditioned, right?
Yeah.
And these folks are not even really police. They're
Yeah.
the border patrol. Like one guy was like, well, y'all ain't even at the border. Like y'all not even at the border. But I mean, the whole ICE thing, I mean, it looks like Trump did meet with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and also the mayor in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Mayor Frey. So they met with him. Who knows how productive that is? I think that at this point, Trump and his administration had to say and do something, because you can't just continue to lie to people.
Yeah.
But they tried it.
Yeah.
They tried it, and then you even had people, Republicans and people who are conservative. That's like, that's just not.
I've seen a lot of voices who were, I don't want to, yeah, I'll say it. A lot of voices that were pro-Trump during the campaign are trying to walk it back. And, whatever. But we got 3 more years. How does this ICE thing play out in the short term? And I'm speaking specifically to the talk has been shutting the government down again to
Mhm.
defund them.
Right.
It
Um,
is
yeah,
is
I
that
mean,
the only avenue of to hey, get these, like, that affects a lot of people, but at the same time, we see what's happening.
yeah, I mean, that's going to, I think that there's going to be an attempt to reel ICE in through the government shutdown. I mean, and I think that this is a winning issue. And I think that they will get a lot of support. I know that I think there was a vote today that it didn't pass. I didn't catch that last one, but it was a vote today that didn't pass. But I do think that this is going to be, that they're going to have to do something with ICE.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say I don't know how much of it is going to fly though. Like I mean, you got Trump. And if he digs in his heels and say, y'all can't do, like Trump, and this is what people don't really realize, and I think even politicians don't realize this. Trump don't really care. Trump doesn't care about the pain that it's going to cause other people. He doesn't really care. Like what? Like I mean, we see from the last government shutdown, we
Yeah.
still didn't get the ACA subsidy, so the
Mm.
Democrats was fucked up for caving in. Absolutely fucked up for caving in. We did not get them, but everybody with a small amount of awareness knew we wasn't getting it. Right?
Mhm.
Knew that they were not
Yeah.
going to renegotiate, and they
Not
never
not
did.
happening.
Yeah, they never did. Maybe this is the topic that causes him to break. I don't see it. I mean,
I'm really interested in I feel like, during the first shutdown, how long did that last? That was
I think it
30s,
might have been 40 days.
40 days. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
something of that manner.
yeah, and I'm sure we all know people who work for the government who was affected by not getting paid and having to work during that time. I wonder what the support looks like for another shutdown. Is it any different, and how long can it last before people, you still got to live, like, you need your money, of
Mhm.
course, like, it's how we live. And we talked about it earlier, but there's no one at the bank who's going to press some keys in your favor
Right.
during the government shutdown. I'm just interested because I feel like a lot of people are looking at what's happening with ICE and this administration, and how chaotic is the word I like to use. It's been over this year. And like it seemingly nothing can stop the train, and something has to be done. So I just wonder what that support looks like and how long that lasts if another shutdown was to take place, and whether Trump caves on ICE, and ACA subsidies. And I unfortunately I agree with you. I just he's dug in and he's rich and he don't care, and but we'll
Yeah.
see.
And yeah, I mean, we know that his followers, they don't care about how they're gonna suffer either.
Yeah,
I mean, we see all of the stories about Trump voters that are being affected by some of his
yeah,
tactics. You know,
yeah,
a lot of voters in the Hispanic community are upset because he seemingly. I mean, we never believed him, but he's went back on his word about just targeting the criminals or whatever that's here, and that's not the case. There ain't enough. There
bro.
ain't
They
enough
said five
criminals.
percent. 5% is the number of deportees or people in detention are the violent criminals
Yep.
and pedophiles and rapists and drug
Exactly.
dealers. 5%.
Yep. And if you're talking about mass deportation and you can only seriously get rid of 5%, what's going to happen next? You're going to have to get rid of everybody. But anybody that had any type of awareness knew that was going to happen, knew that it was not going to be just subject to those folks who were actual criminals, who were actually in prison. We knew what was happening. But the stick on Minnesota. Did you see the footage of Minnesota State Representative Ilhan Omar that was
Yes,
yeah,
I
doing
did see that.
doing a town hall meeting. So absolutely kind of wild event. And you know she was in the middle, or she had just began giving a town hall opening remarks at her town hall, which she does monthly. And this guy like walks up on her, and I'm curious as why the security wasn't right there, especially
Don't get
her.
me started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, especially her, because she is like absolutely vilified by Republicans, vilified by Donald Trump. I mean, Donald
Hmm.
Trump mentioned her by name at the economic forum that they just went to in Davos. He mentioned her by name.
Yeah.
And they probably don't even know who the hell she is. We're talking about all European leaders, but the fact that the security wasn't close enough to like really really stop this.
Be
Um,
effective,
however,
right?
however, the video to me was was interesting for another reason. And it was the fact that this guy sprayed something on her, and her knee jerk reaction was to try to go in his mouth, right? And I thought that was like such a human like emotion. When I
Yeah.
heard her talk about it, she said that she thought that he either spit on her or was spitting at her.
Hmm.
And she's like, that is the most kind of like degrading thing that you could do to a person.
Facts.
And she jumped up like she wanted to smoke, like she had her
Yeah.
hand cocked, like she was ready to go in his mouth. I wish she
Right.
would have. Like I absolutely wish she would have. That would have just been, more fuel for their hatred of her.
Right.
But yeah, she wanted some get back right then and there. She
Hmm.
cocked it back, but then she I guess she thought about it and let her security take him down. She continued with the town hall meeting. Shout out to Ilhan Omar. Like I said, she gets a lot of vitriol from the right and from
Yeah.
Republicans, and specifically from Donald Trump. And I thought it was interesting. After this event, Trump made a statement on his Truth Social. Pretty much was like, knowing her, she probably had it staged, right?
Yeah.
And just to
Yeah. I
kind of
did say that.
show you like the pettiness that Donald Trump has. But you go back in the Wayback Machine and you see when Trump where the guy attempted to assassinate Trump, she actually put out a post that was like, violence is never accepted, and we should disagree and blah blah blah. And she's like this honorable person, And like he's like, oh, she probably staged it. Like it just
Yeah,
like
I did see
like,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Trump is
I
just
saw some weirdo put up a very long post about all the things she didn't do that she should have done according to uh some national like not Centers for Disease. It's one of those type places where it's like, oh, you should do this, you should like all these steps, stop, drop, and roll, and all this shit. You should call somebody and call this number to verify. And then he goes on to say it was staged. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, who say like it's ridiculous. They did say it was I don't know if it's confirmed, but they said it's likely it was apple cider vinegar, which is not really it's regardless. You assaulted. You can't. She don't know that at the time, and
mhm.
you just can't do that. But to your initial point, it's so many videos of security being ineffective late. Like, what do they think? Like, do they know? Like, your job is security? Because he got a good couple sprays and stood there for like 2 seconds before he got gripped up. Like,
Yeah, I have no idea who's on like what her security
what is
team.
happening?
And I would say more so for her, like because she's pretty, like I said, she's pretty much vilified.
Yes,
So the the likelihood of some crazy person running up on her, and she's a tiny little person too. Like she don't look like she but about 5 feet tall, right?
right.
Um, so the
Yes, very
likelihood
clear.
of someone trying to run up on her should have any public appearance, the security should be extra sensitive and probably directly in front of the stage, like or like how shoot I mean rappers at concerts got better security than she do. Like
Yeah,
somebody needed to have been sitting right on the stage,
right.
like and probably with a visible
A
firearm.
visible right musket or
You know what I'm
something.
saying? Like something like so that's very kind of strange.
Disappointing. That's
Yeah,
disappointing. Yeah,
that
for
he was
sure.
able to get that far. I got a couple more things I want to mention real quick. Trump's board of peace. So Trump is trying to get he's trying to create his own United Nations.
Okay.
Because Trump just doesn't feel like the United Nations is working for the United States. We kind of created the United Nations.
Hmm.
So Trump has created this thing called the Board of Peace, right? And it is supposed to be like an alternative to the United Nations. And
Hmm.
this Board of Peace, Trump is the chairman of this board for life. And
Of course.
it costs $1 billion for a country to join this board of peace.
Hmm.
Um, do you have any idea of who has joined this board of peace already?
I have no clue, but I'm very interested to
Could you
find
could,
out.
could you give me what would be the country that you think would not be on the board of peace?
Russia.
Russia was the first country to pay the $1 billion
How did I know that?
to be on the board of peace.
Right.
Um, who do you think would be the second most unlikely country to be on the board of peace?
I'm lost there. You got to tell me.
Israel.
Oh, right. Duh. Of
In
course.
the middle of an active war,
Right, right, right,
and could possibly be on the board of peace.
right.
Come on, knock it off. The other one is Hungary. But those are the countries that have already like pledged their billion dollars to be on this fake United Nations board of peace.
Where's
Canada,
this money going?
who knows, man? Trump's
Yo,
pocket.
he is finesse. I said this he just want his money. He don't give a fuck about none of this. He trying to get paid and be out.
He's
Oh
definitely
my
trying to
goodness. Board of peace. All right.
So,
Got it.
Canada said, "Yeah, we ain't doing that." And Trump's response was he threatened 100% tariff on Canada because they did not want any parts of the Board of Peace, and also in response to Canada's prospective trade deal with China.
Who
France,
set that price? The fuck?
100%.
$1 billion. Jeez,
So,
Louise. All right, I'm
so
sorry.
France said they didn't want any parts of the Board of Peace either. So Trump slapped a 200% tax on French wine. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny.
It's terrible. It's like, what?
Like, I
This
don't
is
want
like
to
some
join. I don't want
cartoon
to join.
shit.
I don't want to join your little Board of Peace with Putin and Israel and yeah. Here's a 200%
Right.
tariff on French wine. Knock it off. like we are dealing with an unserious person in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty.
I saw something last week. I'm not sure if I brought this up on one of the more, I don't know if it was last week or a few weeks ago, but I saw this and I thought it was funny. They were saying how, when Trump's dad was having his dementia, they just put him in a room and let him sign fake documents to make him feel like he was doing something. I'm just going to make that comment without further comment.
Absolutely. But on another serious note, and we might end it right here, but on another serious note, the United States military has sent an armada to Iran, and what an armada is it is a group of warships that go into an area when we are preparing to to either have some type of military exercise in a particular area. So I think it consists of aircraft carriers, warships, and also thousands and thousands of soldiers. I think it's about 10,000. So they're all in close proximity to Iran. And Iran, within the last month, has had a lot of protests and a lot of people who have supposedly been killed in the middle of these protests. And the United States or Trump has been threatening to actually go into Iran and do something as a result of these of the killing of these protesters. So we see what happened last time the United States military was activated into a particular area, and that's when they went to Venezuela, and then we know what happened shortly after they arrived there. So let's stay tuned and see where that situation goes to.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I wouldn't even talk about Trump, and he threatened well, he didn't threaten Norway, but he's upset at Norway because they didn't give him the Nobel Peace Prize. He's still on that. Although the country of Norway has nothing to do with the prize, like like they don't give out. It's not given by the country of Norway. It's given by a group of people within this Nobel Institute that that decides who the winner is. But Trump sent a letter to Norway saying that one of the reasons why he wants to go after Greenland is because y'all didn't give him the Nobel Peace Prize. Mind you, he has the Nobel Peace Prize now because he coerced the winner to give up.
Let me get that joint. Yeah, let me get that joint up off you real quick.
Like that's like winning the Super Bowl and handing the trophy over to the losing team is nasty. Right.
Nasty.
Absolutely crazy. But
that's all I got. Close this out of here, man. Yeah, close this out.
Yep. So I think this is week 53 of the Trump, the second Trump term. His the 1 year mark was January 20th. So 53 weeks in, a whole lot of time ahead of us. And always know that you're going to get some of that information here on TBD. So if you're not political, then you are not then you do not have a perspective. I am Reggie, aka Speed and Bullet. That is B, 3 explanation points. Is James going to pop in, or he?
No. I'm doing the top 5 this week. He cut. That was great. That was great. That was great. Very informative for our listeners, I hope. And heavy on the if you're not political, you don't have a perspective. It's important to pay attention to what's happening in the world around you. It's ever changing. Decisions are being made that's going to affect your life. And maybe next week we'll talk about how this looks as far as, once the midterms come and whatever. But anyway, top five this week. So the top five this week is stand-up comedy specials or stand-up comedians. I decided to go with the specials. Did you get a chance to come up with a top five?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that you and I will probably have a lot of the similar ones, maybe. I think some are just gonna be like no-brainers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to hear your list, B.
All right. I don't have a particular order. Do you have an order?
No, I don't have an order. Nah.
All right. Well, how about we ping pong this? I say one, then you say one.
Okay. I'm
All
good
right.
with that.
For me, the first one that comes to mind, and I think I watched this comedy special more than any other comedy special I ever watched in my life because I watched it when I was young and the comedian doesn't use profanity and I could watch it with my mom. So the first one that comes to mind is Sinbad, Brain Damaged. He did it in Morehouse College in 1990. Dominique Wilkins, who at a time was my favorite basketball player, he
Mm,
was in attendance, and it was hilarious, and it was clean comedy, and it was age appropriate for me at 11 years old to watch this over and over.
that's good. The first one that that I have on my list, and I'm gonna get this one right out early, is Raw. Like
Yes.
Eddie Murphy Raw, blue leather suit.
Yeah.
His
Got
yeah, his impersonations were just
yeah.
at his height. Everything that you could think about, just the rock star atmosphere, like
Everything.
and that being this Delirious was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And Delirious is excellent. But Raw took it to another level.
Right.
If I actually had to rank, I probably would rank Raw number one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I decided not to do a ranking, but Raw, I mean, it changed the game, and probably most stand up comics will probably say that Raw, like live from the Sunset Strip,
Yeah.
Richard Pryor,
Richard
that
Pryor, yeah.
yeah, for those up and coming comedians, Raw had that definitely inspired a generation of stand up comics.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's interesting. It's a lot of comedy specials that they evolve the game. Like I've heard this comment a couple times where they say, "Oh, this changed the game," and like you said, with Raw, live comedy, such as Strip. But the second one that I'm going to mention is one that I've heard a lot of comedians say was like, "Oh, we didn't know comedy could be done this way." Like he changed the game. One of my goats, shout out Chris Rock, but Bring the Pain.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock, Bring the Pain, classic material, classic jokes in there. I think the number one uh, joke from that special is niggas versus black people. Who's more racist, black people or white people? Because then he said black people because we hate black people too. Then he goes on this rant about how niggas are fucking it up for black people.
Mm-hmm.
Genius special, genius segment of the special. Bring the Pain. Chris Rock, if you haven't seen it, very good special.
Absolutely. He said,
No,
Bring the
Bring
pain."
the Pain. No, not
Yeah,
bigger and blacker. Not
yeah, no,
it was
definitely bring the pain.
Bring the
Um,
Pain.
next one I got is You So Crazy.
Mm,
Like Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy. Once again, this was when Martin was at the height of his powers.
for sure.
And I mean, You So Crazy was just it was what almost felt like a throwback to to Eddie Murphy. Like it was very Like it was very risque,
Yes.
you know, with the water dripping all over your body. Like,
It,
I mean, it was
yeah.
it was an absolute great special. And you know, it really kind of put Martin in that next kind of stratosphere
Yeah.
of comics. You know, Martin, you know, started off, you know, small roles and Def Comedy Jam, and then he had his let's run tell that. That's a good one too. That was later Martin. But
Right.
yeah, but Martin, you know, it really kind of solidified him, you know, as at that moment, like the next coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, that was great, you know, for Martin and great for his career and just a great stand-up.
Yeah. Martin. Okay. So Martin, I'm thinking about this. He might be one of the most quotable comedians, just going from his show to not run tell that to You So Crazy. First of all, You So Crazy is just, you say that now you think of Martin. Crazy, deranged, you know, those are things that just live in our culture. Those specials were so good. I remember back when I was ordering shit from Columbia House and not
Mhm.
paying. I ordered his first comedy album, Martin Lawrence Live, Talking Shit. I even ordered the second one, Funk It, that a lot of people haven't heard or know about.
Mhm.
I might actually run those at some point this weekend, just for the feel. But those are Martin. You can't be mad at that. Shout out to him. Um, Number three on the list for me, um, is Chappelle's first comedy special in DC. Um, Shit, what's the name of that one? Um, I can Oh, I just had the name. I blanked. Uh,
Not killing them softly.
yes, Killing Them Softly. I'm sorry. Um, at that point, I was, you know, heavy into Chris Rock, and I just kind of watched Dave Chappelle special because, you know, I like comedy, but that was good. Has some great material in there. His joke about, you know, terrorists don't take black hostages, the genius of that joke and the timing of that, um, is just a great special. Some, you know, kind of, you know, he never lost this. I don't know how to accurately describe it, but he has jokes that are just like so ridiculous in premise, where he talks about a baby on the corner selling drugs. Like, what are you talking about? But to just take that joke, and I know how you feel about Chappelle, you don't really find it funny, but just to take that premise
Wait. I didn't
okay.
find the Chappelle show funny, but
Oh,
I
okay.
find Dave Chappelle's stand-ups to be hilarious. Let me
All
make
right,
sure.
thanks
I
for
didn't find
clearing
the
that
Chappelle
up.
show.
Thank you
Yes.
for clearing that up, because this whole time I just thought you didn't like Chappelle. No.
No, not at all.
Okay. So number three for me, Killing Them Softly, Dave Chappelle, classic.
All right. One that the next one I have on my list is definitely probably one you don't have on your list, B. And I recently watched this
Uh-oh.
because some kind of way it popped up in my algorithm, and I was dying, but I was totally kind of like a little bit confused. So I said, let me search and see if I can find this and watch it. And it it has to be mentioned as one of the best stand-ups ever. And it is Andrew Dice Clay.
Mm.
One Night with Dice. Listen, when I tell you, it is the most ridiculous, raunchy, crazy, like stand-up that you could ever, if you ever have the time and want to watch something that is just ridiculous, but it's so 80s. I think it might have came out in 89 or 90, one of them. It
Yeah.
is absolutely ridiculous, but it is absolutely hilarious. Andrew Dice Clay is fucking character, and the shit that he be saying be totally just outrageous. It is, like I said, it's a great stand-up. Like it's a great stand-up. It's probably not a stand-up that a lot of black people have watched. I think most black people know most black people our age know who Andrew Dice Clay is.
Yeah.
But like to watch that now, 30 years, it's definitely got to be one of the best ever. Like,
I know a lot of people love that. I definitely heard that one come up a bunch of times. I'm gonna show love to one of the most talented people that we have. I might need security, Jamie Foxx. That was I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that's a good special. I don't know what to say. He talked about J-Lo. He talked about being in Africa with Will Smith doing Ali. But Jamie Foxx, I might need security. I think that's why people were so disappointed by his Netflix special because they loved I might need security. It is great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But it's a good special.
All right. I mean, I think I got one more. And I'm gonna say instead of saying a particular stand up from this person, I'm just gonna say like them being as prolific as they are as a stand up is what I think is impressive, and I could not have a list of stand up comics without including this person on it, and it is Kevin Hart.
Oh, yes.
Kevin Hart,
yes.
You have to, and I'm someone that has seen Kevin Hart perform at the Laugh Factory in Philly on South Street, and to see the definition of meteoric rise, but unlike Eddie, he gives us a stand up special, every couple of years, and it's getting better and better and better. And how Kevin Hart has, turned himself into a brand of himself is just impressive. But I think the body of work of him as a stand-up, and he is obviously he's a movie star now. He used to just be a funny guy. Then he was a comedian, and now he's a movie star. He is kind of like the like transition from really Eddie to Martin, and really there was a gap in terms of like that movie star comedian. And now Kevin Hart, and really for a few years now has been able to hold that spot, to be more than just a funny man, more than just a comedian, but to have even transitioned that into some serious roles. But it all, to me, started with his stand up, and he stayed true to that, and he gives it to us, every couple of years. So definitely got to give shout out to Philly's own Kevin Hart.
To answer the question in the chat, it was which one for me. I echo everything Reggie said, but the one for me that I most often go back to is Seriously Funny. The second one where he joked about Shaq, and Shaq was in attendance. Actually, the Cavs were in attendance, so that's the one for me.
But let me say, the one for me is Laugh at My Pain.
That's number 2 for me. Actually, no, I'm lying. That's not number 2 for me.
To me, that was my favorite. Little Big Man was another one that I was a big fan at. Shout out my wife. We actually got to see him at Lincoln Financial. So I don't know which one that was, but that was a great one as well. You know what I'm saying? I figured that I'd jump in to give my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying?
We don't need it.
I know, but you getting it anyway. I'm a force feeder. You know what I mean? I told y'all I give opinions that are unwarranted. All right, they not asked for, but I give them. Of course, you said Raw. You so crazy. If you didn't say it, I was definitely going to shout it out. But I'm surprised. B, you have another, don't you?
Me? Yeah, I got another one.
Go ahead. Say your other before because it might be the one that I'm surprised that
It's
you might not
definitely
like.
not. I showed love to a white comedian. I'm sorry on my last one.
Oh shit! That tracks, but I thought you was gonna get that out early. Go ahead. Who
No,
was it? Bill Burr?
no, it could have been, but no, it's actually Louis C.K. chewed up.
Ah, okay, I'm not mad at that.
I don't
It's a
expect
classic.
for many people to have seen it, but it's fucking funny as shit. Louis C.K. chewed up.
I gotta say it
I
from when
listen
I
to it
see it.
often on Apple Music.
Like I
Okay.
got another white stand up,
I know
Gary
you do.
Owens.
Go ahead.
Like
Ah,
Gary
Oh,
Owens had one stand up that was I thought was great. I can't remember the
oh,
name of it,
he
but
light skin.
definitely was great. Yeah.
He light skin, Reggie. He not white.
Who, Gary
Yeah.
Owens? That nigga grew up in a trailer park.
no.
He white.
No, I know, but when
Even
you
black,
think white
wait,
comedian,
even black people don't live in trailer parks. Like that tell you
no, but
how fucked up you
when you
gotta
think
be
of
to live
white
in a
boys,
trailer
you
park.
don't think Gary Owen. All
Why
right,
not? He white as fucking crispy.
he
He white as
is,
fucking
but
snow.
he really the nigga at the cookout. You know what I mean, but all right, elephant in the room, Patrice O'Neal, R.I.P. Patrice O'Neal.
Ooh, that's a good one.
My
Listen,
bad.
I
You
didn't.
absolutely right. Good
I
catch. Thank you for
assumed
jumping on.
that's who I assumed B was going to give us at least with his last joint. That's why I said I thought he'd get his white ball out early. You know what I'm
No,
saying? But
no, dead
class.
ass.
If you've never seen Elephant in the Room, I implore you to go watch that wherever it's at. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
so good. His album, he got an album. I bought it on Apple Music. You can't stream it. You got to buy it, but it's called Mr. P. I bought that. I listen to that often. But Elephant in the Room for sure. For
Yep.
sure. Every Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I do a tweet, be directly from that special. Happy Harassment Day. It's classic. Classic.
Oh, all right. And we ain't nobody show no love to Cat, so I'm gonna go American Dream, Cat Williams. You know what I mean?
Not really a
Like I
huge
like
Cat Williams fan.
Not
I
really a
pretty
huge
much do
Cat
like
Williams.
most of his stand-ups, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Oh, Kings
Yeah.
of Comedy.
Oh,
Oh,
It
as
was
for
a
a
sure.
stand-up special.
Yeah, yeah,
that
I
might be the best. Like really,
yeah.
that's a great one.
Yeah,
That's a great one. I didn't think, you know what it was? I didn't think about that as far as like the
because it's a
the
collective.
the you're right, the collaboration. I just thought about stand-ups by individuals. There's so many to choose from, but yes, the list
Fact.
is invalid without Kings of Comedy because
Yeah.
it's great.
And then the last one, even though it was before my time, to go back and watch it and still be entertained by it.
Mhm.
Live from the Sunset Strip,
Yeah.
Richard Pryor. You know what I'm saying? Classic all the way around. Um, but yeah, that's my top five. I mean, I had to hop in there. But let me just say, you guys did an excellent job. I appreciated y'all. I watched y'all the whole way through, and I'm sure the audience will agree.
All right, we'll close this out.
All right, man. Well, you already know what it is, man. Listen, you could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with us right now. For that, we appreciate you. On behalf of myself, James, B3 exclamation point, and my man Reggie, aka Speed and Bullet, you already know what it is, man. It's all TBD. See y'all next week.
Peace out.